Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda, picking up from where we left off last week. Residents of Silver Hill, a small settlement located up the Susdyke-Linden Highway, have been assured of government's commitment to developing their community. On Saturday, Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, visited the community in response to a letter sent to His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali by a resident who outlined several matters of concern. Minister McCoy assured residents that government will address their noted concerns of lack of reliable electricity, potable water, and land regularization. He also spoke of opportunities for youths in the community.
Within perhaps the next 2 weeks, you would have a team from the Office of the Prime Minister, the Innovation Department unit, that will be doing some training with the youngsters in the community, teaching them the basic use and techniques of computers, how to build websites, etc., etc. So that training will take place very shortly.
Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa said every farmer affected by the May-June flood at Bell West, West Bank, Demerara will receive the government's flood relief cash grant. The minister held a community meeting on Sunday after several persons raised concerns about not receiving the assistance. A 5-member team comprising residents was established to work along with the Regional Democratic Council to prepare the list of outstanding farmers.
If your names were not captured in the fourth list, and your names were not, you have not received your relief as yet, or you have received wrong amount, then those things will be correct. And we will not stop people from getting relief for the government giving. I have made this point umpteen time all over the country. We are not looking at face, we are not looking at religion or race. Every single Guyanese, you could vote for PPP, you could vote for AP and UAFC, you could vote for JLP. As long as they are benefit for the people of this country, every single person who is entitled will receive the benefit from this PPPC government.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, who was also at the engagement, called for the community to unite, noting that the issues will be resolved soon.
So I want us to have a community spirit. We will solve this issue in no time. 5 days. We will get the names, we'll verify everybody. 5 days. That's not long.
Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onij Warren, on Sunday led a team of senior tourism officials and stakeholders to Region 10 on an outreach aimed at fostering tourism development there. During the meeting, Minister Warren urged tourism stakeholders to dream bigger for tourism development, noting that there is interest from investors in Dubai and Qatar. Minister Warren explained that the type of development envisioned for Region 10 has to be private sector driven and funded, as the government cannot do it alone. Minister Warren also reiterated that there needs to be more private sector representatives in the tourism committee, such as tour guides in restaurants. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, on Monday announced that Ghana had surpassed a major milestone in its vaccination campaign, fully vaccinating more than half of the adult population.
Well, I just want to make something very clear, and that is we are at 51% of the adult population. So this is not the entire Guyanese population. So of the adult population, we have just achieved 51%.
He said while the milestone can be applauded, some regions are still lagging in their vaccination. He said the 51% overall was reached because of the high vaccination rate in Region 4. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa said government will ensure Ghana's fishing industry does not collapse. He made the statement at Monrepo on Tuesday during his meeting with several fisherfolk from across Guyana. The fishermen and women relayed that they have witnessed a decreased catch for the past few months. While the government is willing to provide support to those affected in the industry, Minister Mustafa said a committee will be established and a national stakeholder forum will be held.
So we have to come together. We have to meet and we have to have a proper analysis what is causing the low catches. And as a minister and this government, the PPP civic government, We respond to issues that affect people.
As the world celebrates 45 years of nursery education, Minister of Education Priya Manikchan underscored the importance of every child's right to leisure and play, as it is crucial to their development on Tuesday during her feature address to the National Play Symposium.
We started nursery education to socially engage our children and teach them through play 4 to 5 years ago. And somehow or the other, that became a very concentrated academic program where we lost the play and the benefits of play, where we're looking to see how much you could read and write and how much science and social studies you know at 6 years old, without understanding that the incorporation of play and touching and feeling and visiting monuments and so on might have more value in the imparting of that knowledge that we need.
The Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce on Tuesday launched the first digitized visitor exit motivation survey at the Eugene F. Correa International Airport. Tourism Minister Onij Walran, in a statement to mark the occasion, congratulated the Bureau of Statistics and the Ghana Tourism Authority on the launch of the survey, which will replace the manual survey conducted by the Bureau of Statistics at the Eugene Correa International Airport and the Chedi Jagan International Airport by early 2022. Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai says Guyana and Canada shared a bilateral connection based on their indigenous cultural heritage. It is by this means that a collaborative effort was taken to preserve the indigenous people's culture, language, and their way of life for both countries. Minister Sukai was speaking at the ceremonial unveiling of the indigenous mural titled We the First People on Tuesday.
Guyana and Canada have continued to share strong bilateral relations that are decade old. These relations are built on a foundation of shared principles, policies, and trade. Even deeper than these, our country shared a connection based on our indigenous heritage, our respect and our appreciation of our culture.
The mural, which was painted by young indigenous artist Nigel Butler, is an abstract piece depicting patterns and designs from the first people of Canada and the indigenous people of Guyana. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell on Tuesday encouraged members of the Guyanese diaspora to utilize various business opportunities available in their homeland. The minister made this statement following the launch of international real estate company Remax Ghana branch at Movietown Mall.
Investment opportunities are abundantly available. There are a number of opportunities that are still available to create a niche for everybody. The efforts that we are seeing encouraging not only foreign investors or persons who have no familiarity with our country, but certainly to also encourage our members from the diaspora, that's our family members, our Guyanese family members, to come back home and also play a role in Guyana's development.
Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, encouraged the Guyanese diaspora to be part of the country's economic growth.
We welcome and we're proud to welcome our Guyanese who have spent years overseas but have now returned home to invest in our country and to grow and develop Guyana.
Brass, Aluminum and Cast Iron Foundry Limited has been contracted to rehabilitate fire hydrants in Georgetown. This was disclosed by a minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Anand Prasad, who inspected fire hydrants around the city along with Chief Fire Officer Kalamadine Edu earlier this week. The aim is to ensure that all hydrants from industry to agriculture are functional in the shortest possible time.
We are working assiduously every day to ensure that hydrants are being checked and are being operationalized in the shortest possible time. I can assure you that this committee is being led by Major General Retired Joe Singh, and he is on top of this entire project. I want to interject and to warn drivers of motor vehicles that the law will take its course after we erect signage and markings on the road that fire hydrants are here and there will be no parking.
Concerns of farmers from Anna Regina, Hibernian Charity in Region 2 are being addressed. This after a meeting with Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa. During the meeting, farmers raised issues such as high prices for fertilizers, rates and taxes and leases. They also requested rehabilitation of access dams to support their paddy. Minister Mustafa in response explained to farmers that cost of fertilizers have increased globally due to the increasing cost of natural gas, coupled with the strain placed on global trade by the pandemic. The minister said government is already exploring ways to address these concerns.
It's important for us to build that pipeline because we will produce natural gas and we will produce our own fertilizers. So when people talk about that the government building a pipeline, the pipeline will solve our problems in the near future.
Public servants are set to benefit from a 7% increase in salaries retroactive to January 1, 2021. This announcement was made by Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, during a virtual broadcast on Thursday.
I'm pleased to announce now that your government will be paying an across-the-board increase of 7% to public servants, teachers, members of the disciplined services, constitutional office holders, as well as government pensioners. This increase will be granted retroactively to 1st of January 2021, and work will start immediately to ensure that it is processed and paid to eligible employees, together with their December salary and in time for the festive Christmas season.
The minister also announced that frontline workers will be receiving a special payout to be made by the end of December. Guyana is open to production and use of the Pfizer COVID-19 pill Paxlovid once it is approved. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, during the daily COVID-19 update on Thursday, noted that Pfizer has signed an agreement with the World Health Organization Patent Production Office where they're allowing the use of technology for countries to manufacture the pill.
We don't have manufacturing capacity in the public sector for pharmaceuticals, but here in Guyana there are private companies that would have the manufacturing capabilities. So if those companies work with the WHO Patent Office and are able to bring that particular medicine to Guyana, it is something that we will want to procure.
The minister explained that even if the drug is not produced locally, there is a high likelihood that the cost will be affordable. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, said that the across-the-board 7% increase announced for public servants will inject liquidity into the economy. He made the comment during a DPI interview on Thursday.
When this money is paid to the teachers, to the members of the discipline services, to the public servants, it doesn't vanish into thin air, or they don't lock it off somewhere in a box and it disappears, or put it under a mattress or somewhere and it disappears. They then take this salary increase, this money, this additional income that they would have received. What do they do with it logically? They go to the markets, they go to the shops, they go to the service providers, and they spend it.
The minister expects this to stimulate activity, further adding to Guyana's growth prospects for 2021 and help working families to get back on their feet after the economic downturn of 2020.
We came into government and found an economy that was literally on its deathbed, and we saw Guyanese households, Guyanese families, Guyanese individuals really facing a lot of tremendous economic hardship and difficulties. And we've set about in earnest trying to ease that pressure.
Prime Minister Brigadier retired Mark Phillips has urged men to take up more responsibility, as shared responsibility can be deemed as one of the guiding principles for success in any home. The Prime Minister was at the time addressing men at the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security Symposium in observation of International Men's Day 2021 on Friday.
This whole concept of shared responsibility is very important in the modern home. This is no longer 1950s, 1960s, right? This is the year 2021. Shared responsibility is perhaps the most important, or perhaps the guiding principle for success in any home, in Guyana and in any developing country.
Meanwhile, in brief remarks, Human Services Minister Dr. Vindya Prasad said while the event is in celebration of International Men's Day, it also provides a platform to highlight several issues and challenges men face regularly and to have them openly discussed.
I believe it is a wonderful thing to be able to share experiences, perspectives, recommendations, and do so centered around some of the most important issues that confront us globally and in our country. The most important one at this point being shared responsibility.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony has announced that come Monday, eligible persons can access booster shots if they so desire. The minister, while giving the daily COVID-19 update on Friday, noted that these shots are already available in the country from the existing supply, and health authorities have been contemplating how to move forward with administering booster shots.
We have concluded, based on data from and recommendations from more stringent authorities, that a booster shot is necessary, because what that data has shown is that after 6 months after the second dose, so if the regimen is a 2-dose regimen, 6 months after that second dose, that the immunity starts to wane. And therefore, if the immunity starts to wane, the chances are that persons can get infected, they can be breakthrough infections, and the protection that the vaccine would normally offer for persons, preventing them from getting a severe form of the infection, that can start to wane.
Minister Anthony said the booster shots will be first available to specific groups, persons over 50 and those persons 18 years and older with comorbidities. That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.